Hey, hi all. Thank you for joining. A warm welcome to Snowflake training. So, so, uh, I have a quick question to all of you. So, just keep a comment or raise your hand saying that who are all don't know any basics about the programming as well as the any software concepts. Who are very new to software. You can just react here. You have the react button is here. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay. So I believe you already have some basic concepts about computer software. I mean software industry. So I believe that no one is a beginner to software industry as our IT industry, right? Okay. I can take it as yes. Okay. Let's start the training. Yeah, so again, a warm welcome. Thank you for joining this session. Today is the demo session on Snowflake. So, Before that, I have some expectations from you guys. So, please be on mute, and I will give you some time after the session so that you can ask your doubts at the end of the session. I can give you plenty of time to ask your question. Yeah. Please make sure that you are on mute so that the session will continue in smooth. So okay, let's start. Yeah. So before that, I will explain. I mean, I am going to give you a brief about me. I am Srinivas. I have around 8 years of experience in IT. In that, I have around 4 years of experience in Snowflake. So I have been working as a Snowflake developer from for past 4 years, and I have worked on end-to-end project development as well as the delivery. So I believe that I can give a from basic training to advanced training, so that everyone can understand from beginner to high level developers. And this training is focusing on every stage of a developer, like from beginner to fresher to very high experienced person, so that you can learn very easily. So so I am going to the session very slowly because I want to make sure that everyone can understand the session, so that there is no gaps in the session, I mean, so in the training. Okay, let's start. I hope you are clear. So please be on mute. Okay, what do you mean by Snowflake? Actually, Snowflake is a company as well as it is a data warehouse that is built on top of public clouds, which are available in the current market. So I will explain about the public clouds and about the cloud concepts after this slide. So before that, I am just giving you the definition, saying that what is the Snowflake. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse that is available on the public clouds like Amazon AWS, Microsoft Azure, as well as the Google Cloud Platform. So so actually it is a layer that is built on top of the existing public clouds. As I said that, right, these are the public clouds that we have right now. Amazon Web Services as well as the Microsoft Azure Cloud. And it was it is a data warehouse, as well as the it is using in our current industry, it is using as a database as well as the data warehouse, so based on their requirement. And it provides lot of tools and lot of processes and tools and to implement the data warehouse solution. It is a complete data warehouse solutions where lot of tools are available in it. And it has been supplied as a software as a service, where you can build complete data product in it. and it was designed by three main data engineers, or I can say the software developers. So these are the three guys who have founded who had founded this organization, I mean, so this company. So they have the vision. They want to keep the database in the cloud. That is the main primary goal they have. But the database that they are keeping on the cloud, it needs to be scalable as much as they can. I mean, so as per the requirement, and it don't have any boundaries for the as a data solution. So they have thought this one as a so they have this thought, and they have kept this database in the cloud, and so they came up this solution. So they have supplied this one as a software as a service. Okay, so it was designed, so before that it was sorry it was designed as an analytical solution, but now this one has the Snowflake become as transactional databases also in the projects. I have seen that one uh, in my real time. So in the same way, so it, as I said that, right, it is a data warehouse solution as well as the database solution. So it has lot of tools to process, transform, as well as organize the data, so that we can use the data and analyze that data uh, in our analysis. So apart from that, so it helps us to store unlimited amount of data. So I'm going to explain about the sizes and all in further slides. And you can implement, I mean, so you can increase our size of data storage based on your requirement in a few clicks. That's it. So the storage will increases independently, so you no need to do any few clicks. But it also supplies the compute power to run the queries. So all the data that is present in Snowflake can be accessed only through SQL queries. So I am expecting from you guys a basic SQL knowledge is required to start this. So even though initial days we are going to even though you don't know the SQL knowledge, so in the initial days we are going to we have around 1 week sessions where we are not going to through the SQL queries. But in the meantime you can learn some basic SQL queries. What is the database? Anyway, I am going to help you to understand the queries. But at least some basic SQL experience is needed. If you are it would be great if you have. Okay, so as I told you, right, these are the three persons: Bennett, Dagville, and Theory and Markin. Now these are the two guys who are handling this company. So Bennett and Theory are handling these two the company right now. So actually, because of some issues, our Markin is not there for now. But these are the two guys are available. I mean, so they are the co-founders for this company. If you search in the Google also, you can find only these two guys in the videos as well as the data presentations also. Okay, so these are the three guys who came up this beautiful idea to put TV in the cloud, and by using the public clouds, so which seamlessly gives us the unlimited data storage as well as the compute power to run your queries and to build a data product for your business as well as the for your company. Okay, so as I told you, right, Snowflake is a complete data warehouse solution which provides as a platform. So where you can build and run your queries, as well as you can also integrate it with other third-party tools, and also you can also get the data that is available in market freely, as well as there is pricing model is also there. So you can build any data product by using this Snowflake data warehouse. Okay, so this is the official website we have for Snowflake. As you can see, this is the official website of Snowflake. Yeah. Okay, so I will give you in the end at the end of the session. I am going to give present one video, and I will share that link to you guys, so that you can aware of that how Snowflake was named as Snowflake, because the two data engineers are have very love on spring season. So they so where and as well as, sorry, not the spring season, Snowflake season, so winter season. So they love the sports, winter sports, so that's why they named as Snowflake. Okay, so let's continue to the next slide. So as you know, right, in today's world we are generating lot of data, right? So through Instagram, to Facebook, through YouTube. So as an individual person generating lots of GB data per day. So while you are watching some YouTube video, right, you are generating without your consciousness. So you are generating more than a GB of data in a day, per day. So while you are watching the YouTube take the analytics of the your watching hours, as well as what at what time you have started the uh, your video, and how you are how much time you have watched, and in which location you have watched, in which IP address you have watched, and which from which device you have watched that video. So for single video it is taking this much of data from a person. Suppose, as you know, right, we have around billions of users all over the world from for YouTube. So for single application, we have billions of users, and we are using a lot of applications in our mobile or laptop, as well as your compute devices, like, and your wearable watches. So as I can say that we are generating huge amount of data per day. So so I can say that we are generating, so per person we are generating around GBs of data so per day, so in a minimal. But if we consider entire world population, so we are generating around exabytes of data per day. Okay, so this is the exabytes of data we are generating per day. So to process, so before that, I give the same some basic example. I mean, so basic definitions of what is data and what is database. See, so data is nothing but of a collection of information. So where you will use in your business entity or your personal use, or so whatever the, when you speak it is a data, when you thought it is a data, when you are typing something on the your laptop, when you are saying something to the user, it is a data. A data is a meaningful conversation between two persons, two entities, or two devices, right? So you are giving the meaningful information to the other device or other person, right? So it is nothing but of a data. So as I can say that, so we are discussing in a business term. So when we are discussing in a business term, it is saying, we can say that a data is a collection of information for a particular business entity. Okay, so so as I said that, right, we are generating huge amount of data per day, and we need to store that data someplace. So because data is always important, it needs to be secureable. uh, so it needs to be confidential. So there are some confidential data is there and non-confidential data is there, but it needs to be secured, it needs to be stored someplace, so that you can get the data in future, and you can do some analysis, or you can do some transactions based on that data, right? So let's take an example. You are using a banking application. So while you are doing the banking application, so you have deposited some amount 1 year back, and you have done the transaction throughout the year, and you want to check that, so particular mid of the year I want to what is the amount I have on that particular day. So how you can do that one? So you need to track those changes in the database. So that means, so you need to store that data in some place so that you can track the changes. See, in the same way, whatever the data that we are generating and for a business or for our personal use and for any vehicle or whatever you name it, so everything is gone. Everything needs to be stored. Okay, so to store the data, we have databases. Okay, so databases is a software which has lot of information in it. It stores and manages data, and uh, it stores the data for a particular time travel, I mean, so for a particular time period. So in future, when you want the data and you want to see the data, you want to do the changes on the data, you need to be store that in a database, right? So these are the database providers. So for example, I have given the only three or four examples, but there are a lot of databases that are available here in the current market, right? Uh, so Oracle is the main database provider currently in the market, and MySQL, it has in Oracle we have only commercial database. So we have the developer versions also, but so these are the main providers that are available in the current market. We have Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB, Snowflake, AWS Redshift, and PostgreSQL, MongoDB, NoSQL, CouchDB. So there are a lot of databases are available to store the data in current market, right? So in databases also we have different types of databases: relation databases, non-relational databases, are nothing but of NoSQL databases. Okay, so a database is a place where we can store structured, semi-structured, non-structured, and unstructured data, right? So, 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 so database is a central place where you can store all our data, right? So, as I told you, right? So we have different types of databases, and each database has its own advantages as well as disadvantages. And so, when come to the databases, we have some drawbacks. As I told you, right, we are generating around a huge amount, around petabytes of data every day, right? So so when we are generating the data, so we need to store the data into a databases so that it can be tracked as well as that it can be viewed, updated in future, or in an instance of time, right? So let's say I have a when I'm using an banking application. So so I have worked with the okay, before that I will explain one more example. I have worked with a client who was founded that organization in 1877. So not in India, in Germany. So I have worked with a former client, so who has started their organization in 1800s. As you can see, a database can store very less amount of data when compared to data warehouse. See, so database is mainly used to daily transactions. It can only store up to a terabytes of data, or mainly terabytes of data or petabytes of data. After that, it is not able to uh, so it is not able to handle the data. Okay, the hardware requirement to set up to store that petabytes of data is very huge and very costly. I mean, so it is very costly, high cost. It is a high cost. Maintenance is required to handle that database. Okay, and so mainly, and when you are doing some transactions on a database, so uh, the performance of the database will be degraded after some time. As I said that I have worked with a client where it was founded in which was founded in 1877. So they are maintaining their organization data from the day they have started. But initially it was started on flat files, but so gradually they have moved to database, and they have moved to database to data warehouse, because they want to track each and every change from from the day they have started their business and till today. Okay, right? So in the same way, to store the history of from day one they have founded, so these many years, so 1877 is nothing but of around 23 and 123 and 23, so 146 years of data we need they need to store in some, they need to store in a database, right? So it, I believe it crosses more than exabytes, so zettabytes or yottabytes, as you can see here. We have zettabytes and yottabytes, which is bigger than exabytes. So further they have also implemented data warehouse for their organization. And so, and right, so while you were while you were guys, give me a second. Guys, one small update. Please drop your email IDs and mobile numbers so that our team will contact you regarding the training. In the chat box, you can drop your email IDs and mobile numbers in the chat box. Okay. Uh, can you say yes or no? It is okay to unmute for this answer. Hello, guys, are you there? Deepak Singh, Venkatesh Raola,
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Vijay.
share.
Yeah, yeah. So at least you can respond for these answers. It is okay to unmute yourself. Okay. So as I told you, right? So
Sure, we will share it.
sure, sure. Thank you. Okay. So okay, as I told you, right? So we need to store all this data in a database, but database can't handle this much, the amount of size that is happening from 146 years, right? So so database has some limitations where it can only store around few years of data, around 5 to 10 years of data. After that, the data needs to be moved into data warehouse. And in databases, we are frequently doing the updates and deletions as well as the uh, insert operations. So due to that, the performance of the database needs to be very high. So it only happened when you have very less amount of data when compared to data warehouse. So that's why databases are more only used for uh, transaction as a transactional databases. Okay. So we have two types of databases. One is OLAP, and one is OLTP. So I have not mentioned that in the slide, but I will give you the information. OLTP is nothing but of online transaction processing. OLTP is nothing but of online analytical processing. So databases comes under OLTP where you are doing your daily transactions. That's why it is called online transactional processing. And OLTP is nothing but of you are doing a. I will tell you after that. OLAP is nothing but of online analytical processing here where your frequent operations are analysis. But in OLTP, your frequent operations are insert, update, and delete, right? So you are modifying the data, you are updating the data, you are uh, 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 deleting your data on a frequent manner. So that's why the performance of database should be high, and it only happen when you have less data. Because if you have petabytes of data, it's need the SQL engine needs to be. I mean, so SQL. So before that, SQL engine is nothing but of a processor which goes through the entire data that is present in the database. So when you are doing these operations, if you have huge amount of data, around exabytes of data, it needs to be go through entire data set to scan that one and to do modifications, right? So which is a time consuming as well as a performance issue when come to the database. So further they have founded a data warehouse solution. Data warehouse is nothing but of a place you can store the data. And before that, I also mention one more point. Database, we only store structured data, only one type of data in a database. So as you can see that one, right? So in Oracle, we only it is a type of relational database where we can only store the table structure, I mean structured data type. So in Oracle, we only store data in the form of rows and columns. But but when come to the MongoDB, it stores the unstructured data. So every database has, so either it is if it is a relational database, all the data we need to store in rows and columns. So we are not able to store flat files in that. Okay, so to avoid that, I mean, so these are the main limitations that we have in database. But when come to the data warehouse, we got the data from different types of sources into the data warehouse. Like we can store the data that is coming from the flat files. We can store flat files are nothing but of your CSV files or your what I can say, PDF files, not PDF files, CSV files, and your normal text files. These are all called flat files. So in data warehouse, we are going to store flat files data, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, IoT data, sensor data are nothing but of IoT data. So we log data. So we got the data from different sources in a data warehouse. But while storing that into a data warehouse, we need to process that one. So that's the different concept. But it is a central place where we can get the data from different kind of sources. So as I told you, right? So these are the data sources like databases, flat files, IoT data, as well as your log information. So while you are working on application, you have generated, your server got generated a log information, right? So it is not structured. It is like semi-structured or sometimes it is unstructured. And your video files, audio files, uh, your GAF. So there are a lot of data that we are generating, right? So we need to store that data into a data warehouse so that we can analyze for future analysis. Okay, so we have a lot of solutions in the current market for data warehouse. Or we can also data warehouse can build with the uh, on premises as well as the cloud solutions. We can build HP data centers are examples for on premise databases. And so the examples that I have given here as cloud data warehouses, where Snowflake, Amazon Redshift, and Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay, these are the data examples of data warehouse solution. So I will pause here. So please let me know if you have any doubts. You can unmute yourself and let me ask your questions. Okay. Do you have any questions, guys?
So this
Yeah, go on.
Snowflake is a warehouse, right?
Yeah.
So can we keep our text file, Excel file here in this?
Yeah, so we can so there is a concept of pages in Snowflake, but we can keep the text files, as Snowflake has introduced that concept, but only when, as I can see, we process before the text files before loading into Snowflake. But as you can see, in Snowflake, we are also storing the data into rows and columns. You can see, but also, there is a concept behind the storing, but you can see in rows and columns in Snowflake.
Means we need to transform data into rows and columns, then need to then can fetch
Yeah,
into Snowflake, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, means directly we can't keep Excel or text file there. We need to
Yeah,
convert,
we can
transform data,
store,
right?
we have a, yeah, we can store files also in Snowflake.
Means like a repository.
Yeah, like a repository. So we have the stages concepts in Snowflake. We can store the files also.
And only using SQL, we can extract data from Snowflake, correct? Or
Yeah.
do
So
we have
whatever
do
the
we need
data
any
we have
language?
processed,
Hmm.
yeah, we can't view without SQL, because even though you can view without SQL, you can view the data without writing SQL queries, but behind the scenes, this Snowflake generates SQL query for the clicks. So you can view by clicking on some databases, right? But behind the scenes, this Snowflake generates the queries for that.
Understood.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. No problem. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Murug. You have some question? Hello, hello, Murug. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I can take it as yes. No questions. Sorry, no questions. Okay, we will continue. So these are the data sizes I have given here. So we have bit, nibble, byte, megabyte, gigabyte. These are the hierarchy order for data sizes. Bit, so nibble, byte. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. One nibble equal to two 2 bits, and megabyte, gigabyte, exabyte, sorry, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, gigabyte, yottabyte, Google byte. So it was see, so they will also introduce some more new words to define the data size. So we need to wait for that, because we are generating a lot of data every day. Okay, so where Snowflake fits? So, so why? Uh, so before, I already told you, right? What is the Snowflake? It is a cloud-based cloud data warehouse solution, and it is a data platform that provides as a software as a service. So, where you are going to use your Snowflake environment in your application? Let's I will take a banking application, right? So when you are see, so let's take a small example, some small application, banking application. So in a small banking application, you got the data. Suppose you are a customer for a blank, and you wrote some data to pen or pencil or some handwritten, right? So we have the data to analyze that. So first we need to process data to store that into a database, right? Database or data warehouse. So I will also, actually I have not kept the data warehouse formation architecture, but so in future I will keep that slide. Okay, so whatever the data you are producing through banking application, so it might be your small charts. Let's say you are open a bank application, right? You opened a bank application saying that, so immediately one pop-up will come saying that, hi, I am Ira, or I am some dot bot will come saying that, do you have any help, how can I help you, right? So I believe you all guys have faced that screen in your daily usage, right? So what it will do, so based on your questions, it will generate the data, right? So all this data needs to be stored in some place. That is one type of data. So it is generated through question based data. That is one type of structure of data. And another one is, let's say you yeah, so in future, it is, so it is happening in some other countries, but in future you are also this future will be available to common people also. Say when you have some, you have you are You have a account in a bank, as well as you have a account in an insurance company. So you have opted some insurance, and we have a feasibility of IoT devices right now. So it is generating the data about each devices and it monitoring. So mainly IoT devices are sensor based devices. They keep on monitoring about the business entity. Let's say you have a smartwatch, Apple smartwatch, and you have the ability, so it has the ability to keep track of your heart rate as well as the your health diagnostics on a frequent basis, right? So every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 seconds or 30 seconds, it keep on gathering the data from about your health, right? In so I think we have seen the news saying that Apple Watch saves a man from an heart attack. So, have you guys heard about this news? Uh, yes or no? Okay, I will take it as a no. So, right, in US or some other country, so one guy got a sudden heart attack. So, actually, he had a, in even in India also it was happened. Uh, they have kept this watch. I mean, so he is using Apple Watch. Apple Watch send a reminder to send a notification to the concerned hospital, which and the insurance team at the same time, because he got some heart attack. So it sent notification to these two people. So immediately the ambulance came to that house, and they went to the nearby hospital, and the man got saved from the heart attack. So it is a it is a time constraint application, right? So it's keep on when it's keep on generating data, the data needs to be processed, right? Once it generated. Okay, so it was happened when in a frequency frequent of seconds. I mean, so in a sequence of seconds. I mean, so in a very few seconds it was happened, right? So, so whenever the data has been generated from that watch, it has been processed. It's sent to the notification to the appropriate persons, so that the patient has been taken care of. He got alive now. Okay, so all this because of the process speed of that data is needs to be very high. That is the one concern, and it is that data has been generated from an IoT device, which is not much structured. As you can see, it has been generated in JSON format. IoT devices mainly use a JSON format uh, uh, to generate the data. I will give the JSON, what is JSON and how it's structured in future sessions. But so because the IoT devices uses JSON structure because it is easy, and the process time for JSON structure is very less, and the size of the structure is very less, right? And as you can see, when you are using web data as well as the any server, it generating log information. So I can show you the log information of a server. You can see that one. See, this is the log structure. So this is the log structure. Anyway, it was structured here, but sometimes you got this data like this one. These are called logs, right? The log data is not structured. So as you can see here, so it was not much visible, but yeah, see here. So it is a log file that is generated in Ubuntu. As you can see, it is not structured. So as a layman person, when you see this one, what is this crap? So how can I view this one? How can I understand with this logs? Right? As a technical person, you can understand this, but as a layman person, you can't understand this data, right? If you structure the data, let's say, so Facebook has opened in this Mozilla Firefox browser And so if you keep this data in UI, saying that this Facebook application has been opened in that on that particular time on this particular browser, then a layman can understand, oh, so someone has opened this browser in my system, so someone has opened some yahoo.com on my browser, some Google Chrome. So only this happen when you process that data. Okay, in the same way, so we got the data, we got the log data from web or server, and we also got the third party data. And so in data warehouse, as I told you, right, Snowflake is a compute data warehouse solution where you can get the data, numerous amount of data sources. OLTP is nothing but of your structured data. OLTP is nothing but of your structured data, and enterprise applications are log data or information, some data generating from overall applications of a business entity, and third party data, log data. So these are the data sources I am referring. So where you get different discrete amounts of data, you are getting different types of data. So I can say that these are the heterogeneous. That means the data from one system to another system is different. One data source data is different from another data sources. So all this kind of data can be processed in Snowflake. As and we have so whatever the data we have processed in Snowflake can be used on in these applications. We can use data engineering applications, and data lake applications, as well as the data warehouse applications, even data science applications, data applications. So we can build a data product for all these applications, so that they can use that data, they can they can use that data and build their application on their own. Okay, so did you get my point? So and after that, whatever the data that we are generating, or when then we are building, will be used by data consumers. So let's say, have you heard about weather applications, right? So no, we can go for general example. We are booking bus tickets, right? In a like TSRTC, APSRTC, or KSRTC, and so whatever application you can take, Red Bus, Abhi Bus, right? So initial there is an API. So when you are trying to book a ticket, you will get seat structure, right? For each bus, how you are getting that seat structure? Someone is posting that data into web, saying that, hey, I am posting this web this data to as an API. You can use that one, and you can use that you can use that data into your application. But to use that data, you need to give some money to me. Okay, so whatever the data that we are generating, it can be useful some other person also, right? So so then if they want to use that application, they have to pay some money to the data providers, right? So data monetization is nothing but of whatever the data that you are generating. So your generate your data the data that you are generating can be useful for other persons to build their application in their to use their in their applications, right? So for that you need to pay some money for that. So that is nothing but of data monetization. In Snowflake we have the facility. So suppose you have, as a you are a experienced developer, you have some idea, you want to build some product, and you want to share that data to the market, right? So you can do that one through Snowflake. And you will, if your data is useful, found useful in other applications, then you can get paid. That is nothing but of data monetization. And as I told you, right, Snowflake is a data warehouse solutions where you can store historical. I have given an example of a pharma company, so which was founded on 1877. That means 146 years of data can be stored in data warehouse, so that you can use that data. Okay, I have started this organization in 1877, I have do some analysis on the existing data so that I can predict the data in future. Let's say now the how they predict the future. So they will also comment some of the data. Let's say we have a population in 1995 or 2000 we have a population around 90 crores or something, but now we have crossed 100 crores, right? So in India, so I am saying about the India, but so we also when come to the world population, it was increasing rapidly. Okay, based on the population, the companies also produce the medicines as per the requirement. So they will analyze the data, so how the population has been growing day by day. And let's say in 1877 there are around 2 crore people around all over the world. Okay, so for 2 crore people they will manufacture the medicines for the 2 crore people only, right? So in the same way in 1990s they have manufactured for 90 crores people. In 2000, so they have manufactured for 2000. In 2000 they have manufactured for some 100 crores of people. So sorry, not 90 crores, some 200 crores of people, right? So they will analyze that how much requirement we do need to, how much medicines we do we need to produce. So all these kinds, so all this information they will get only analyzing the past data and to predict the future. So this is called a predictive analysis. So whatever the data that we have in Snowflake, we can analyze the data and produce the results based on that. The companies produce the manufacturing, they are ready to set up their environment to produce large scale, to produce the medicines or products in a large scale based on the requirement of a growing population, right? So this is how data is useful in each and every day, every business, every personal use also. Okay, ad hoc analysis. Suppose you are doing some ad hoc analysis, nothing but of suppose you want to compare your yesterday's data with today's data, then you can also do that one through Snowflake. So okay, so the real time analysis, as I told you, right? So while you are using IoT data, so you need to, so in this ad hoc analysis you are also comparing yesterday's data, right? So we can also monitor patients' health from past few days and yesterday's health and today's health through IoT devices. Real-time analytics is nothing but of IoT devices. So whatever the data that we are storing in data warehouse, it is mainly used for analyzation as well as the processing, and we can get all these the data that is generating from data warehouse will be used by multiple applications, like as I told you, right? Data science, they can generate some they can design from ML algorithms, machine learning algorithms, so to build models. And data warehouse where you can keep all our data in one place, from which is coming from numerous data sources, data lake, data engineering. So all these applications can be, so Snowflake fits all these applications to build a data product. Okay, so any doubts on this slide? Okay,
No.
so as of now I have told you about database, data warehouse, and data, right? How this data is to, how these databases are placed. So how many types of databases are there? Mainly in general we can categorize databases in two types. One is on premise and the one is cloud. Okay, so it is a general term. On premise is nothing but of a nothing but, so let's say uh, I am working for a pharmaceutical company, saying that hey, so to store my data I need to keep all the infrastructure on myself, and I need to own a building, so where I keep all the data in one place is nothing but of a on-premise data. That means the operational cost as well as the installation cost all needs to be taken care by on needs to be taken on your phone. Okay, so it needs to, from everything, so from building space, storage space, as well as security, uh, everything regarding the data, as well as the infrastructure, all you need to take on your own. That is called on-premise environment. When come to the cloud computing, so cloud computing is a place where you no need to do any infrastructures on your own. All you will get all the service through internet. Okay, you just need to bother about, okay, you only your business logic, you no need to bother about hey, how the security of data centers, right? So I will show you a data center. Okay, so this is the data center. So it is Hyderabad, but so this is an example of data center. Okay, so the data center, so as you know, right, so to install one data center in a place, it has lot of efforts, lot of persons effort will be there, and a lot of infrastructure they have to configure it, and security. So they have the boundaries, and no one will allowed without authorization. So everyone will taken care. If you are using on-premise database, so on-premise structure infrastructure, you know how to take all these things, install the infrastructure, install, keep the physical security, and there are, I will give the disadvantages of on-premises in next slide. But so this is called on-premise. So on-premise is nothing but of a software or technology which has been placed as well as the maintained on your own place, and on your own stuff. But when come to the cloud computing, so they will take care of all these headaches from you. So they will do all these things, only they will provide whatever needed for you, that's it. So we have, so cloud computing is nothing but of delivering services through internet. So you can just access through internet. So let's say I will give a small example. Let's say you are working on a Java application, as well or a Python application, or some SQL application. What you need to do, you have to install that language appropriate software kit on your laptop, right? So to install that one, you need to have your laptop with some specified configuration, right? So without that configuration, so they won't install on your computer, right? You are doing all your you are installing all these hardwares or softwares on your so all these softwares are on your system. So your system need to have some criteria to specify their requirement to install their products on your system. But in case of cloud computing, you no need to install anything on your system. You just need to open a browser, log in into the account. You need login into the account. You need to use the services that they have provided, and you can easily, so you can you don't need any hardware requirement on your system, right? So in our current market, we have three types of clouds. One is public cloud, another one is private cloud, and another one is hybrid cloud. Okay, so these are the examples of the cloud providers, and these are just limited. So I have given only few names, but there are a lot of cloud providers are there. But these are the key players in the current market. Okay, public cloud, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Microsoft Azure, and GCP, Google Cloud Platform. These are the key players that are available in current market, who are involved in each space of cloud. Okay, private cloud, when come to the private cloud, same, these are the HP data centers, private clouds. So before that, I will explain what is public cloud and what is private cloud. Public cloud is nothing but of the environment is available for available for each and every person that they are using. They don't have any restrictions on that public cloud. So all the data that is available for a business entity can be used public cloud. And So as an individual, as a business entity, as a personal, anyone can use public cloud. So when come to the private cloud, let's say when you are working, so let's say there is a US government, there is a China government. They used private cloud because they don't want to post their data outside of their organization. Okay. So they don't want to use the persons outside of that organization, as well as the inside also they have some other private clouds, I mean, so private data. So only authorized persons can view that data. Okay. So for and they don't want to send out that information outside of organization. For that reason, these are some of the organizations use private data. As you know, financial data is the most crucial data in current market. Not only financial, any data that belongs to a particular organization is very crucial. Even and about even when you are working with the banking application, so that data related to banking application is very crucial, which will, so as I told you, right? So data is always important. It has been secured. So there are some organizations, they don't want to expose their data to the outside world. So f- those organizations use private cloud. So it is not much concept you need to aware, but I mean, so you no need to bother about hybrid cloud. So by combining private public and private, so hybrid cloud is can be formed. uh, so it is like, so some of the data you want to expose, some of the data you don't want to expose. So in those organizations, hybrid cloud can be used. Okay. In cloud computing, we have three types of models. One is platform as a service, and the one is software as a service, and the third one is a infrastructure as a service. So I will explain these three. And okay, I will explain these three, and then I'll just go forward to another slide. So okay, so platform as a service is nothing but of the infrastructure that are required. I mean, so sorry, not the infrastructure. When your application a Java application, when you are working on a Java application, or you are using some other application, you have some IDE, right? So have you guys worked on any Java application or any other application that, so which background you guys are coming from? Exactly, I don't know. So whatever the application that you are using, you have to choose some IDs or some UIs to work on that. So let's say you are working on a Java application, you need to use either IntelliJ or some Eclipse kind of IDs to work on your environment. Okay. But you need to install those applications on your computer to work on it. But in case of cloud, all these applications will be installed in the cloud. You just need to open that one. That's it. You can work from there itself. All the data that you have written, all the code that you have written will be stored in the cloud. It will not be stored in your local space. So the processing that are required to run that application, the processing that are required, I mean, the storage that is required to store the code will be handled by cloud itself. No need to bother about. These are the examples of PaaS, I mean, platform as a service. Force is one of the Salesforce application where you can write your Java code or JavaScript code there. Okay. And the Google App Engine and the Windows Azure, these are the examples of PaaS. Software as a service is nothing but of your Gmail. See, so platform as a service, sorry, so platform as a service is used by mostly technical persons. Only technical persons can able to understand the tools and the code that are present in the PaaS applications. Software as an application has been software as a application is nothing but of an application has been well developed, and that has been deployed into your cloud server, so that those applications can be used by the non some of the non-technical persons also. Let's take a Gmail application. Gmail application can be used by any person who just know about some basic computing, computer basic computer skills, right? So everyone can use that one. Everyone can send a mails. Everyone can store the data into Gmail, right? But and in the same way, Snowflake also has been introduced as a Snow SaaS application, so that it can be accessible through web browser, and you can develop applications in that. But it need to have some technical knowledge to work on that. But it was applied as a software as a, you can, so why it was presenting as a software as service means, so you can open as a website, it as a website, and you can just code it there. Okay, so that is called software as a service. And infrastructure as a service is nothing but of uh, while I am discussing about on-premises and cloud computing, I have told you, right? So we need to install, and we need to take care of everything to create a storage data center. So we need to get the place, we need to get a building, we need to get this physical security. All will be handled on your own in case of on premise. But in case of cloud computing, they will provide all these things to you, and you just need to, let's say you are you so let's say you are working on a company where it has provided, let's say Amazon. Let's take an example as an Amazon provides you a virtual space where you can install your applications apart from your computer. So I believe you guys, when I believe you guys are working on cloud, some company, right? If you are working in a company, all your client applications has been installed in a virtual desktop or desktop on demand, right? So those are the instances will be handled in provided as an infrastructure as a service. These are the providers that are handling infrastructure as a service. DigitalOcean, Linux, and Amazon Web Service, even Microsoft Azure also here is available here. So I have not kept that one here. Okay, so 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 how on-premise is different from cloud? So these are the parameters. So I already explained, these are the some of the parameters. Let me explain that. I explain that again. So in prompt premises, you have to create, you have to construct your own building to keep your data center. And you have to do so initial planning is must required when you are using on premises company. So as you are working, so the capital expenditure you have to create, you have to uh, uh, it is a burden on you, because you have to get that money for that. Let's say you are you need to construct a building to keep a data center, right? So for that so capex is nothing but of capital in expenditure. To start a company, you have to create your own building, or you have two options: either you have to construct your own building, or you have to lease from another building. But so when you are creating a data center on your own, you have to get a building on lease or rent, or you have to construct on your own, which is a high cost effective, sorry, not effective, high costly. So and to create a new company, or to found a new company, you have to take much time to set up construction and everything. So you have to follow the every process. And so let's say you have created a company where you are dealing with a business. So you need to take every step very clearly, as well as very consciously. Otherwise, when you are when you are working to a client with your data center, if something goes wrong, the client will sue you a huge amount of data, sorry, huge amount of money. So you can't imagine. Sometimes it will fails your reputation, your company reputation, and it might sometimes it might collapse your company also. Okay, the cost structure. So as I told you, right, all the maintenance as well as the initial infrastructure you need to take care of, which will cost you a more. So when you I mean, so when you build in a company, when you construct a one building, so it has some physical, so you need to place your physical security. So you need to pay for them, so you need to maintain. Suppose if someone in one on fine day you are not able to find your security in front of your gates, your mind will be, oh, what happened? So you need to you have lot of tension on your mind, right? So that is one of the main reason. And as we know, right, so we are getting data, we are getting lot of data every day. So to deal with that, our softwares needs to be upgraded on a daily interval. Otherwise your application will be outdated, and uh, you are not able to manage client work on time, and as well as you are not able to satisfy the client on your work. So these are the issues you will face when you working on premise infrastructure. And disaster recovery. So as you know, right, so you are not working on you are working for a company which has been used, or which has been used on premise data warehouse, or database, or on premise infrastructure. So you kept that infrastructure in one place. Let's say some disaster has been happened like floods, as we know, right, floods. And right, recently we have already faced corona. So in that time we are not able to go to the office, we can't. So government is not allowing. In that scenarios, the companies has to be work from home. The companies make possible to work from home. All this happen because of, so if one of the data center or node has been failed in one place, so they are moving that all that, they are placing all the data into different in cloud, they are placing all that data into different clouds. That means they are duplicating the data one place to another place. So that one of the one of the place so has been faced some any disaster due to some floods or some natural calamities. So in that scenario, so you can get the data from another instance that has been placed in another location. Okay, so cloud provides this facility where it has been duplicated data one place to another place, so that one of the node has been failed. Node is nothing but of a place where you are getting data from your business. You have the data in for your business. So one of the node has been, if one of the node has been failed, you are getting data from different place. So let's say I have a business in around the world. So you need to get, so you need to have your data in multiple places, so that you can access from different places if one of the node has been failed. So these are the advantages. And right, so in when you are using cloud, you no need to set up a building and set up a cloud infrastructure. The cloud will provide all these things. You need to use just you need to pay what you are going to use. Okay, minimal operational expenditure is nothing but of there is no cap index. Initially you don't need to spend any money for capital expenditure, which is very high in case of on premises. Only minimal operational expenditure is enough, because you need to set up the environment to work with your clients as well as the to for your business. So it take a lot of time, as I told you, right? So you need to construct a building, you need to set up a infrastructure, you need to set up a compound wall, and you need to get the physical security, so which is a very time consuming process. But in case of cloud, it is not take much time. So it will happen very few hours to few days. That's it. Few days, nothing but of around 5 to 10 days are like that. I am giving example, but exactly I don't say it is 5 to 10 days. So minimum amount. So as it is a cloud based, whatever you are using, you have to pay for that. So it is like our what I can say. So it is our credit card. That's it. It is like our credit card. So what you are using, you have to pay only for that, right? You don't need to pay extra amount. But in case of on premises, you need to give in front. I mean, so upfront you have to spend a lot of money to set up this infrastructure. So this physical security, as I told you, right, there are a lot of as I shown you, right, in this building. So it was happened in Paris. So there are a lot of security guards are there on each floor. They have provided separate security guard on and outside they have provided a lot of security. So it is impossible an unauthorized person to enter into that building without specific, I mean, authority. As I told you, right? So cloud environments install duplicate the data into multiple places so that you can get the data into different places. So I believe we have crossed much time. Anyway, this is the last slide I'm going to explain. So how Snowflake is different from other cloud data warehouses as well as the on-premises databases. So in when you are using Snowflake, you no need to install anything. You just need to have a web browser. You need to create an account with Snowflake. That's it. You no need to install any application on your computer. But very minimal applications are there. So I won't say that, but they are not required to install. They are the add-ons if you want. That's it. Otherwise, you no need to install anything on your own computer because so as of now, I am working with. So in my experience, I have not installed anything on my computer. I have only worked on Snowflake cloud itself. So I just opened my account. I mean Snowflake account, which was provided by my company. So that's it. I only work on that. But there are add-ons are there, but I will not say only Snowflake is enough to work on your project. But to work on data, Snowflake is enough. So in Snowflake, we have a concept called worksheets. Let's say when you are working on some, I believe if you are not experienced, it is okay. If you already experienced on a Oracle or SQL, when you create a SQL sheet, you have to type on that and you need to save that. Otherwise, it won't save automatically. But in case of Snowflake, whatever you type, it automatically saves in on our Snowflake cloud. Okay, whatever code you have written, whatever you types in Snowflake, automatically it saves in your computer, in your cloud itself, Snowflake cloud. Okay, so you have different types of roles, which is nothing but authorization. So you can provide the flexibility who can access which data, who can access which um, who can't access which data. So all can be all can be provided by Snowflake roles. We have default 3 6 roles, but we can in real time you are not going to use all these 6 roles. You are going to use custom roles. So this is the one of the interview question. So when you have 1 year experience or very less experience in Snowflake, it is a fresher interview question. So which type of role you are using in our Snowflake? So if you say the default roles, they will immediately reject you because you are not going to use any default roles in your real time. So uh, you are going to use only custom roles in your project. Okay, Snowflake execution query. So when you work, if you are working in SQL database, so until you configure some logs, you are not able to see what of the queries you have been executed from past few days. But in case of Snowflake, you have the flexibility to see the queries which was being executed from past 14 days from past 14 days. Whatever query, whether it is executed, it is failed, it is just executed. So all the query result related query related syntax, as well as the time and what and the results that you have that are generated for that query, and all can be tracked in Snowflake. We have a concept called history in Snowflake. You can get that one. Okay, so let's say you are working on a so you were working on a project where you have you have a procedure, or you have a process needs to be run on midnight of Indian timings, right? So you can't stay up late, and you need to monitor, or you manually execute that one. You need to configure that one in your applications. In the same way, Snowflake also has the ability to configure those tasks in Snowflake. So you can configure your processes in Snowflake. But to monitor that, you need to monitor that you can get the notifications by giving your email or your mobile number. So you can get that facility from Snowflake in a few clicks. That's it. This is the main feature I am talk. Snowflake has provided. I believe till now no data warehouse or database has not provided this feature for feature friendly. So this is very useful features for a uh, Snowflake developer, or any database developer. Let's say you are working on a database where so unfortunately you have deleted a table without your intervention. So what you need to do, you need to go to the DBA, say, hey, I have deleted this database with so unconsciously. So I need to get it is an urgent requirement. I need to get data immediately. Then what DB will say, hey, first you raise the ticket and come to me. Then I'm going to restore that database, right? Table. Otherwise, so it might take some time, around 2 to 3 hours. So if it is a priority based ticket, it might take at least 2 to 3 hours, right? But in case of Snowflake, you will get the data in few seconds. That's it. You just need to run only one query. You will get data within a fraction of seconds. You will get the undropped table. Dropped table. Okay, that is the main feature that Snowflake has been introduced. Time travel is nothing but of a you are getting the historical data immediately. Quick cloning is nothing but of a process where you already have a table. I want to so cloning will help. I will tell you how cloning helps in our project. But so cloning is the process of copying one table data into another table. So creating same table as a replica in your environment. Uh, so so it can be also done in a simple query in Snowflake. It will not take much time. And so Snowflake has provided to integrate with different technologies and different cloud environments. As of now, it only have support from three public clouds. That is AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Azure, as well as the third one is Google Cloud Platform. So you can integrate your application with any cloud storage. So apart from that, you can also integrate it with other third-party cloud storage, but Snowflake has provided the tools that are required for that. So you no need to bother about that. And automatically data ingestion, Snowpipe is one of the concept which has been introduced in Snowflake. So it mainly deals with the IoT applications where whenever the data is available, automatically it process the data. So you no need to once you configure the Snowpipe, you no need to bother about data loading. So Snowpipe will be loaded all that data immediately. But it has some limitations. It only deals with about 50 MB of data per loading. That's it. So tasks are nothing but of your cron jobs that you need to configure. Hey, I have this task. It needs to be run on midnight. So you can configure that process using task in Snowflake. So these are, there are a lot of features are there, but I will explain. So Snowflake supports, as I told you, right, it supports semi-structured data, structured data, unstructured data. Snowflake is caching is nothing but of a mechanism where it is a temporary memory. So you no need to run, it will, the you no need to, so I will tell you about the caching in later, but I will tell you that Snowflake is an amazing environment. You can start your career with Snowflake. So which it is gaining very popular. Already it has very popular in the current market, but the Snowflake team has been introduced new features into its environment so that it can deals with data that is very from small size to very huge amount of size. So in future it is going to be deal with big data kind of work also. So I can say that I guarantee say that it is going to deal with big data also. Okay, so why you need to learn Snowflake? As I told you, right? So career advancements. You can already see that there are a lot of job postings are available if you see in LinkedIn as well as the Naukri, and the companies are keep on asking about the Snowflake environments. So, and in my experience, I have interviewed around 60 people in my for my company. I have I have only shortlisted around 5 to 6 people because they are lacking in knowledge. So in this course, we are going to teach each and every concept very clearly. We are going to provide interview questions as well as the on a concept based. So I am not going to give the questions at the end of the at the end of the time. No, that will not help you. So I will give the questions on concept wise, so that you can immediately refer those questions, so that you are ready to give an interview when it happens. So industry adoption. So day by day, each and every company is moving to on-premise database to cloud, because they are not able to spend capex as well as the opex so instantly, so that they are moving to. So if they want, they can use. If they don't want, they can just drop up. That's it right there. So they don't want to spend a lot of money on these things. So for on premises. So this is the one of the main reason. And big, so as I told you, right, so Snowflake has been, and keep on growing as data is growing, keep on the all the Snowflake has been introduced a lot of concepts in it. So for a very few years, so it has been introduced a lot of concepts to deal with big data and analytics. So as I told you, right, if you can see, you can search in LinkedIn as well as the Naukri as well as another job portals. You can see, just type Snowflake and Snowflake developer with at least 2 to 3 years experience. You will get very lot of job postings about Snowflake. So I can say that it is on demand, in demand technology in the current market. If you compare, um, so there is no other product that is going to be beat Snowflake. So I can proudly say that one. Okay, so this is all about time. And if you have any question, just you can unmute yourself and let me know.
So Snowflake is big data, can say.
No, it is not a big data. It can deals with big data. So it can give the infrastructure to deal with big data, but it is not completely a big data product. But so whatever the data you have in Hadoop, so you can also analyze that data into Snowflake.
Okay, means whatever we are uh, going through with the Hadoop
Yeah.
system, right?
So yeah,
That we can
in a
handle
Hadoop
here also.
system. Yeah, we in Hadoop system we have a Uzi is there. Uzi is one of the concept to used for cron jobs. In case of Snowflake, we have tasks. So where we can configure the cron jobs. Okay, so in there it is a distribute in Hadoop we have a distributed system computing. In here we have virtual warehouse concept. So you are not going to write any code for that. They have already configured the front to execute the queries. So concurrency will be taken care by Snowflake itself, and as well as the performance management optimization all will be taken care by Snowflake itself. You are only going to deal with uh, business logic. That's it. So you just need to write your business logic through SQL. That's it. And Snowflake has also introduced Python platform in it, so that you can also write your queries through Python.
For
Your
Snowflake,
business logic. Come again?
I mean, we can use Python for Snowflake also.
Yeah, we can also use Python in Snowflake environment. So
Okay,
they
to
have
create
introduced a
pipelines,
new concept called Snowpark. Come again?
to create pipelines, or I mean, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Python is in, I mean, our course, or
No, Python is not included in the course, but at the end of the session, I will explain some basics about Python, and I will give you one high-level intro to how you can use in Snowflake, and so actually it is a Snowpark, which is the new concept introduced in Snowflake. So you can write your Python code in Snowpark.
okay.
Okay, any other questions? So I can see the chart. Is there any questions? Okay.
So, Srinivas, so the current curriculum that we have right now, will that help for attempting the certification?
Certifications need more preparation. So I will try to give you some information where you can prepare. But this course is only to crack your interview, as well as you can crack the interview through this course. I can definitely guarantee that. But certification you need to look into some other options. So I can't guarantee on that. But
Okay,
so whatever the concepts I am going to explain, those will be there in the certification.
okay. So now, okay. So my current client that I'm working is shifting from on-prem to Snowflake in couple of weeks. So my
Okay.
idea behind is that get familiar with Snowflake.
Okay.
Also, given a certification exam probably in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. So
Okay.
so I was asking in that direction.
Yeah, so because the certification questions are little bit logical when compared to the concepts, so it needs some preparation, because first you need to get the concepts of Snowflake, then you need to go into dig deeper. Let's say I am using so in the certification they will ask which type of virtual warehouse which size of virtual warehouse you are going to use for this business requirement, for business for this functionality. So
Mm,
we can't define that. We can't specify. They specifically ask the size.
mhm,
So it needs some analyzation. So once you gone through the concepts, you will get to know how to answer that one. So as I told you, right, it needs some preparation also. So
mhm.
this course is only focus on to crack the interview and to learn Snowflake. But I will not guarantee on certification.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions do you have? Sorry, I have took lot of time, but it needs to be there because it needs to be explained. Any other questions do you have? regarding the course content. And I think if you provide your email id and as well as the uh, your mobile numbers, our team is going to share the course content that we are going to explain. And apart from that, this is a general course content, but I am going to add some more concept at the end of the session. I will give another there are lot of new features that are happened in Snowflake. I need to add them, so don't worry, I will explain each and every concept that are required to crack an interview. And you know, right? So recently, one of my colleagues as well as some other people that I know, they have already cracked 20 lakhs package for 5 to 7 years experience.
How long
Currently,
you
they
been
have
working
to
on this Snowflake streamers?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. Have you done the Snow Pro certification?
No, I have not done. That is
Oh,
not required to work in a company, so that's why I have not done.
yeah. Okay. No problem. Just checking.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? So we can wind up the session.
Yep. I'm good. Thank you.